Coming in now, I'd also like to bring in Lieutenant General Shaukin Chauhan, a very well-known defense veteran, a person who spent his childhood, his entire army life alongside General Bipin Rawat, and someone who he counts as a friend, someone who he knew very well. As the Chief of the Naval Staff takes his salute as well, I'd like to bring in Lieutenant General Chauhan. General, you know, we spoke yesterday as well, and we very much appreciated the reminiscences that you shared with us. Your thoughts today,
Thank you.
sir. I can imagine all the conversations that must be happening, you know, in the friends circles about General Bipin and Mrs. Madhulika. Share with us some of your thoughts today as this final journey comes to an end, sir.
There's of course a great sense of loss. Lost because I've lost a childhood friend. I've lost a colleague, a valued colleague. I've lost a mentor. And as the general was saying before me, a fellow Kancha or a fellow elder brother. General Bipin and me, as you were aware, were from the same regiment. Our parents were from the same regiment, and we grew up as children in the same regiment. We were born in the regimental center in Dehradun, and we were children together. And my childhood memories are of General Bipin from that age. I have been lucky to have been associated with him because Bipin was a year senior to me, and even in the NDA he took me under his wing and guided me through difficult times, especially during our junior terms. He was always there, and he would also always say, "Kancha, come, now you should do this, or let's do this together." And I've been through challenging times with him. He's been through challenging times, but we've always worked it out. We've done most of our courses together.
Yes.
Of course, he was outstanding in every course. He was way ahead of everybody else. And in the staff college course, he was absolutely the best in whether it be in his narratives, whether it be in his the retention of the orders, or whether in his interpretation of the tasks that were ahead of him. He was absolutely clear. And the good thing about General Bipin, and even that I noticed that as a major, that he was not afraid to ask questions. He was not afraid to question the white surface, question the narrative, question why a particular thing was happening. And I would often question him about it. I would say, elder brother Dai, why do you keep asking these questions? And he would say, because unless I ask these questions, I'm not going to learn. And we're not going to repeat the same mistake that people have made in the past.
Yes.
So General Bipin was actually determined, from a very young age to not make the same mistakes that maybe our army had made earlier. And I'm so glad that both of us, our careers went together. At every stage, he was a year ahead. So I would always laugh and say, well, next year I'll catch you up. And I remember when I was retiring on March 27th, on March 31st, 2018, he had just become the chief. And he told me, he says, Kanta, we were to have retired together, but I've got 3 more years. I said, yes, and I'm certain you'll do a great job. So it's a tragic situation. Bipin still had another 20-odd months, another 1.5 years to go. He had a lot of things to complete. Later, when there are so many lasting memories, so many lasting reminiscences about General Bipin. But what I loved about the fact was his simplicity and his ability to, take on. He could take on any task. We were traveling for the regimental get-together from Delhi. We were both posted in Delhi at that time. And we were going to Lucknow. He said, Kanta, you're going to come with me. And of course, Madhu and my wife, Daphne, was also to travel with us. He bought tickets in the overnight train, you know, and we shared the top berth together, and the ladies were on the ground berth. So it didn't matter to him whether we were in a first class bogie or a second class bogie. He would just take off his backpack, which he always wore when he was traveling, and sleep immediately. I loved that about him, that he could rest his head and sleep, and he would wake up absolutely fresh and ready to get ahead with life. The other thing I loved about him was the way he always carried everything that he wanted on his back.
Yeah.
There was no question of anyone else carrying anything for him. He would put it on his back and walk, and he had this brisk walk. I wonder if you've noticed on the television, of him walking. He would put his head down a little bit and walk as if he was going to butt head with somebody else. And he loved walking. He loved walking and talking. And we could discuss anything, throughout the courses that we did together or our lifetime together. He would always be advising, saying this is what we have to do and this is how we have to go ahead and this is what the Indian Army needs. So General Bipin was a man in a hurry. He was well chosen by the government. He had his detractors. He was in a hurry because he had no option but to be in a hurry. Being chosen as the Chief of Defence Staff meant that General Bipin had a lot of tasks ahead, very difficult tasks ahead. But the good thing was that he had the heart for doing these tasks. He could take decisions, he could take them quickly, he could stick by his decisions. He may have been a little impulsive at times, but he could be moderated. If I didn't agree with him, I would always go and say, this is something maybe you can look at. And he would say, okay, sit down, let's have a cup of tea. And he would re-listen to whatever I had to say. And he'd say, okay, I agree with you. Let's do this now. So, the great
General Chauhan, just for a moment, sorry for interrupting. Defense Minister paying his last rites. Just listen in and then come back to you.